I'm going to do the swap from Eclipse Tower, which is very expensive and I think not actually all that convenient. It's way up here near the hills at the top end of the city. And I'm going to buy an apartment down here at Alta Street. Now you can get the cheap one for 214 or another one for 223. It looks like there isn't an updated interior here. That's not really an issue.
What's up, bro? How's it going?
Once you're in it, it makes really no difference which of the two apartments you're going to go for, because I don't think you even get a different view. Actually, you might get a slightly different view. So since I'm flush with cash, let's buy the Alta Street one, the slightly more expensive one, and waste that extra $6,000. I'll get directions. And we'll purchase this property and trade in one of the others. So you see I've got 6 properties to choose from. I can't sell one if I'm not buying another one. And to me, the most useless one right now is Eclipse Towers. In fact, I'm going to trade that in for more than the cost of what I'm buying, so I'm actually going to make money out of this. When I trade it in, I'm getting half my original purchase price, perhaps more than half, 550,000. When I trade it, I'll see what the original one would have cost, Suite 3. So I'm getting back 550,000 on the old one. And if you watch my money, it's going to go up a little bit eventually. And Rockstar, as they so often do, are having problems with their servers, and it's not processing quickly. Come on, Rockstar, sort it out. Get some better servers. There we go. So my money should have gone up a little bit. I didn't notice that it did, but I can always check later. And now I can see that Eclipse Towers, which is this one, apartment, a lot of different apartments in Eclipse Towers. I don't know why so many people would want those apartments. No, it's not even. Okay, apartment 3 was 107. I got exactly 50% back, so it was 1,100,000, the most expensive apartment in the game, and I wasn't that impressed, to be honest. If you love Eclipse Towers for some reason, you can actually buy 3 different penthouses and spend nearly 3 million on it. But I didn't find the location that useful. So I should now have directions to Alta Street, and I'm just outside the Integrity Way, so I'm not very far away. Something I discovered in Integrity Way is that people will park their cars around the garage and make it hard to get in. So right now it's clear, but when I came there was a car parked exactly here, which if you were trying to rush in quickly for some reason would be in your way. It's not a parking space, people, it's got yellow lines. Don't park there. And there was a second car parked on this corner. And again, that's not a parking space, so don't park in it. There's yellow lines there on the curb. That means don't park there in America. There's lots of parking spaces around here. Use these ones. Now, what the car I saw over there, I was very tempted to blow it up, but actually I moved it just for fun. It was quite a nice car. It was an Oracle, what was it called? Yeah, an Ubermax Oracle, which is, you could sell that for about 8,000 to 9,000. So that might be a nice way of making a bit of money from this location, because you're not very far from the garage. In fact, you're probably the closest you can be. So you can pop out of your garage, pick up a car, and drive it and sell it, and that'll teach them not to park near the back of the garage doors. So that's a potential money-making thing there. You do that often enough, you'll have paid for your apartment. So Alta Street, I didn't go for this one initially because it's a little bit further out from the centre, but it's only a couple of blocks, so it doesn't make a huge amount of difference. There's the front door is up those steps up there. And then the parking space, is it up here? No, it's actually down here. That's probably more convenient than the other one because it's a straight run down from the street. You're also not going to get idiots parking right outside your garage. So, I haven't got a lot of cars in here. And this is just the standard look of the property. This is not an upgraded interior. But again, that's just a matter of taste. Doesn't make any difference to gameplay. And here we are. So this is the standard interior I had in the other apartment, my Del Perro apartment. It's not going to look exactly the same on the inside. And you know, I actually think I prefer this because the heist room is right here. So when I spawn in or do the trick of teleporting here, assuming this is where I continued my heist, it'll always go back to whichever apartment you were last using a heist room from. I just turn around, across the little hallway there, and here I am at the garage. That's very, very convenient because what I'm going to be usually doing when I'm spawning in here is either running straight back to get in a car or go outside, or going down here and sitting down to watch TV, to go AFK. So this is a pretty good location. I kind of like this. What have I got outside the window? This is a view to the south. And nothing ugly in the way. There's the Ferris wheel over there, side on. That's kind of nice to see at night. So I don't think that's too bad. I'll just have a quick look out the bedroom window. Oh, there's also the side window on the apartment here. So again, that's quite a nice view. We have curtains on that window, so you can't use that one. Down to the bedroom. Window is pretty much the same view as the apartment room upstairs. So not a bad view if you wake up here, if you switch on your game and you decide this is where you're going to spawn, and you can be looking out towards the pier. So that's a nice view to wake up to. By the way, to set your spawn location, you go to your interactive menu, it's M on the keyboard, and spawn location, and you can choose between all your locations. What I would never want to choose random, to be honest, unless you like being in trouble. You might end up on the top of Mount Chumash or on the beach, miles away from anywhere. Last location can be useful if you're in the middle of doing something and choose to switch to a new session and you wanted to pick up from where you left off. And then you've got all your apartments, and you've got, so we got there, Del Perro, that's my main apartment. Tinsel Towers, I've got a couple in there. Integrity Way, that's the one just up the road. This one at Alta Street. Sustainia Road, I'll show you that in a little while. And then you've got all the garages attached to those apartments in the same order that you just saw the original apartments. I've also got my yacht, I've got my office, I've got my clubhouse, my MC clubhouse. You've got your vehicle warehouse if you've bought one of those and you've added the bedroom to it. I've got my bunker if you add the bedroom to it. I've got my hangar if you add the bedroom to it. I've got my facility if you add the bedroom to it. Nightclub, I think you have to add the bedroom to that one. Maybe that one comes free. Arena if you bought the arena. And back to the casino penthouse, which is where these days I'm normally arriving because I can pop straight out and pick up the plane from the roof for $200. Really, what I should be doing is arriving in my apartment, my office, I think, or my yacht, because from my office I can go up to the roof and then call in because I've got the office right down by the beach. I can call in my personal helicopter because I've got one. So really, I think what I'm going to do is spawn at Lombard West. That way, if I pop out of this character to my other character and then pop back to this one, or if I log right out and then log back in again, I can go up to the roof, call in my personal helicopter down on the beach, and I've got a helicopter immediately ready for use to do whatever I need to do, whether I'm running around filling up my businesses, or if I'm going to go and do some activities. That's how you change your spawn location. So Alta Street. Standard, same look as you get for Del Perro. Exactly the same, I don't think anything's different. And we'll get out of the apartment. Back onto the street. And you're not right down by the street, you've got a little front area here. That's kind of nice. But if I want to go to my garage, it's actually not very far away, it's only just down here. And there's parking or something up here. I guess this is for looks for other apartments. There's no garage back here that you can access. It's a little corner building. I guess that's services. Security, I don't know. Up over here. There is a building site there, but I don't see it from my window, so it doesn't bother me. And we are back at the front door. And then outside the front door, we'll just call in our car. And there it is, right on the street. And I think that's a little bit closer than the other one was. So I think actually Alta Street is better than Integrity Way. It doesn't have such an ugly view. It's easier to get into your garage when you need to, because it's right here off the main street. You're on a main thoroughfare, same thoroughfare. You see the Integrity Way is just up the road there, so it's not very far away. But you don't have that awkwardness of having to go around the building to get into your garage, and that's, you know, all the time you spend doing that is time you're not doing something else. So you do that 100 times, you spent 100 times, 10 seconds. You could have been doing something else with that time. So Alta Street, I think that's a nice location. And that's another 10 apartment garage. 10 garage apartment. And not much more than the Del Perro one. It's still under the 250,000 mark.